Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my report in the fourth subcommittee of National Conference held by the University of Da Nang, University of Foreign Language Studies. My name's Lee, and my research title named Self-Directed Learning Awareness of Non-English Majored Students at HCMC Open University in Challenging Times. This presentation includes 6 major parts: introduction, literature review, methodology, analysis of data, major findings, and suggestions. Now let me start the first one. Introduction. Self-directed learning is the most crucial actions of each student in general, broad students particularly, and also the need from individual future development to the world of work. The importance of self-directed learning is proved by several researchers, and anyone can become a self-directed learner. Self-directed learning helps to control their studying progress and lead themselves to go beyond what is expected. Self-directed learning is a must for personal learning successful in the long run, especially during this toughest time, the outbreak of novel coronavirus disease 2019. Faced with massive challenges, faculties swiftly converted their curriculum to an online environment, which required students must spend more time for self-directed learning. Spending most time studying at home may change students' learning habits and cause them some certain problems. Given these issues, this study conducted a survey about self-directed learning awareness, habits, and obstacles of Ho Chi Minh City Open University non-English major students. The second part, literature review. Several researchers have defined what self-directed learning is, and in this, what learners actually carry out their learning. Self-directed learning is a learning process in which learners can learn individually or in group with the help of a resource person in an intentional and conscious way. Self-directed learners have their certain learning purpose and they are aware of what they are learning about. Self-directed learning is a learning process in which each learner judges their learning requirements, determine their own purpose, choose and carry out appropriate learning methods, and also evaluate their learning results. So to apply self-directed learning effectively, they may need to have a unique process guiding the learners to carry out step by step. Bobovic 2011 and Ohashi 2018 suggested a learning cycle which has 3 stages including planning, acting, and reflecting. Is not to become a self-directed learner. However, how much learners express themselves as self-directed learners may hinge upon several factors, divided into main groups such as external and internal factors. The internal factors include physical health, time for relaxing, hobbies, self-maturity, and intelligence. The external factors include support from family, peers, help, learning environment, and teachers' role. Self-directed learning may happen in an unexpected and time-consuming way, leading to failure if learners lack of proper management of those factors. The gap remains as whether Vietnamese college students, especially those who do not major in English, are aware of self-directed learning, how they have been studied as self-directed learners, what their self-directed learning habits are, what problem or stress they have faced, and how they have tackled their problems. The current study has motivation to investigate the four gaps above by attempting to answer the two main research questions. How much Ho Chi Minh City Open University students are aware of self-directed learning? And two sub-questions. How have the students been studying as self-directed learners? What are the students' self-directed learning habits? And the second question, what problems or stress have the students faced with when they studied on their own? And sub-question for this, how have the students tackled their problems? The study was conducted at Ho Chi Minh City Open University. It currently has approximately 4,000 regular non-English major students. It's one of the premier universities of Ho Chi Minh City, providing English major education training. The survey for this research took place at Nguyễn Kim campus during 1 week. The researcher would find available non-English major students to do the questionnaire. They were studying English as a compulsory subject. 168 students participate in the survey are undergraduates in 13 majors. Please look at Figure 1 for more details. The questionnaire was adapted and redesigned for knowing the students' perspective on self-directed learning. It had 4 main parts, and the reliability and validity of questionnaire were guaranteed in the paper. IBM SPSS Statistic 23 software was used to analyze the data, and detailed responses to open-ended questions were analyzed and discussed by using thematic analysis. First data collected are demographics of the student participants. Most of students are third year and freshmen. In average, most of the students spend around 10 years to study English. Second, as illustrated in Table 2, all of the items have been from 3.5 to 4.1, and the median is 4 for all items. The students tended to agree and strongly agree with all the question items in this part. Next, most of the students stated that they wanted to communicate effectively with others and have better jobs opportunities. However, some of them didn't know what their learning goals were. Next, the students tended to have neutral opinions about the question items in the issue that how they have been studying as a self-directed learners. For second question, what are the students' self-directed learning habits? In general, most of the participants spend time on self-directed learning variously due to their own decision with a certain studying scheme. Hence, they did not study the same amount. As can be seen in Figure 3, they used various methods to study. However, it's obvious that a greater number of students choose memorize, read, and take notes on the line more than other methods. Nearly half of the participants choose the materials they have favorites, but more participants tended to choose available learning materials of the course or provided by teachers. On the third days, 19% of the participants who were afraid to share their individual difficulties. Various problems were found from the participants' personal conditions. They had such difficulties, but they generally did know how to deal with it. However, a third student stated that they could not find solutions for their problems and they would give up. This percentage is not high, but is significant to concern about. Now let's move on to the most important part, findings. The findings indicate that the students are highly aware of self-directed learning towards their academic achievement, especially in this period, COVID-19, and they have been carrying out their study plans themselves. More than half of the students carried out their study plan with clear learning goals and higher expectations. Most participants lacked sharing their plans or actions to friends or teachers, managed time ineffectively, tended to study alone due to being distracted by online disturbance or physical distractions. In terms of students' self-directed learning habits, they spend a little amount of time with less than 150 minutes a week. Most tended to study by heart, just read, took notes, or underlined. More than half chose learning materials provided. So, to sum up major problems when they carry out self-directed learning, manage time ineffectively, choose right materials, lost their motivation and focus because of anxiety, short-term memory due to inappropriate self-directed learning methods, lost basic knowledge, affected by distractions, hard skills such as listening and speaking skill due to lacking of partners and sharing their actions to others. They did find the measures for their difficulties. However, a third participant did not find a solution for themselves. Therefore, they studied with high motivation to share 4 suggestions. First, to students, they should plan more strict and fixed self-directed learning plan on a daily basis to keep track on studying English. Try more useful study methods like reading or summarizing, talking about it, studying and reviewing, so on and so forth. To teachers, they could recommend that students various effective self-directed learning methods, proactively listening to and discuss with them on their self-directed learning plans and actions, provide more related learning materials to them. To family, parents and relatives could always encourage them to overcome the anxiety of these challenging times, support them on enough budget for studying and a privately quiet place to study. To colleges and universities, the school administrators could timely provide a learning management system with chronological materials and an artificial robot attached to the system, which can automatically reply to students' questions. Indications for future research were offered to find students up about self-directed learning in order to help the country go through and beyond the pandemic. This is the end of my presentation. Please don't hesitate to email me at ly.nn@ou.edu.vn, or please don't hesitate to ask me or give comments to me now. Thank you for your attention.